Peter Hooley's backstage, guys. Are we ready to have a chat with one of the great basketballers, a Melbourne United champion, and get his insights on his team, the Crows, which some of you may like because you like the Giants from what the chat said. And let's dig into a bit of chat here. Apparently, he scored a game winner as well. So let's get Peter Hooley in and chat to him, everyone. Pistol!
Mate, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I was going to call you Peter Hooley, and then I just saw your name pop up called Pistol, and I thought, what a name.
That's from college, so I'm all right with that because March Madness is going on right now, so get to relive some good moments once every year.
Is there anything in the world that matches March Madness from your experience? Because I was in the States once through March, and I never saw anything like it.
No, it's insane. It's unbelievable. I went to a small Division 1 school in terms of we're not the Dukes, we're not the Kansas and all that, but managed to win 3 conference titles. So actually...
Oh, I love this.
I love this.
He's gone straight in the trophy cabinet. We're 5 minutes in. Pistol.
Well, only because it's March Madness. So we've got 3 of these little boys.
Oh, my God. What are they? What is that? Is that just like rings you've won?
Yeah, that's our conference champions.
Do you ever wear that like down the street or like if you go on a dinner with your partner or whatever you do? Do you rock that?
I actually thought I lost this. We moved house so many times. We've got 3 of them. How about that?
Oh, my God. Dabblers. This guy's the Dabblers are loving this.
How does this? But no, that's man, March Madness is like when you're a smaller school, like the Dukes and the Kentuckys, they can lose games in the conference tournament. It doesn't matter. We have to win out. So we won 3 years in a row, and to experience it, it's unbelievable. We played Duke my first year. We played Seth Curry, Mason Plumlee. Only lost by like 8, which was good because the line was like 15. Then we played Florida.
Did you play Davidson? Did you play Curry? Are you Curry's age?
No, Duke. We played Seth Curry.
Oh, Seth Curry. I was going to say you're not as old as Steph Curry, are you?
No. Seth was a bucket man. I think he had 34 on us.
Yeah. Does he get underlooked, or does he not get the appreciation he deserves because of his brother?
I would say so, but it's hard, man. Your brother's the greatest shooter of all time, so it's hard.
Valid point.
What do you expect?
Valid point.
Yes, he was unreal. Then we played Florida. Casey Prather, my old United teammate, they were elite. And then my last year when we won, we played Buddy Hield at Oklahoma. So it was March Madness. I don't care how many years I've been out of college. It's one of the best times of all time. Everyone says it's a great punting time. It's actually not because you're expecting these $1.10 favourites to win. It doesn't happen every time in March, man.
Wow. Why is that? Is that because of just like the pressure and like the event of the notoriety of March Madness? Like because they're still like they're young adults, they're kids in a sense, playing in this like limelight, which is just extreme, like bigger than some professional leagues, really.
But it's that, and people underestimate the small schools. So if you play Division 1 and average 12 to 13 points a game, you're actually elite. It's not, you can't compare it to what they score in the NBL or the NBA. College is completely different. It's such a slower game, 30-second shot clocks. It was 35 seconds when I was playing. So, and everyone underestimates them, and they come out, and if you're a lower seed, you've got a free swing. And tell you what, when you're playing one of those top seeds and you're hanging around in the last couple of minutes, they start to get really nervous. You hit a couple of big shots, you need some luck to go your way, and then all of a sudden they head home and you march on. You get your free headphones, all that crap they give you for going. So it's fun.
Man, that's crazy. A few people are asking us like just a bit more about you. So, how tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". Is that? I mean, that's massive to me. In basketball terms, is that like a normal size? Is that medium size? Is that tall?
So I played for United for 2.5 years, and I reckon I was third shortest.
Third
shortest. Yeah, third shortest. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
so
it's weird because I'm just so used.
How does a bloke like me that's 5'10" have a gig in the NBL? Like, what do I have to be able to do to stand a chance?
Can you pour water well?
Do you know, I'm a good towel waver.
There you go. They pay for that.
Yeah, Paddy Mills started that trend, and then he just started winning championships, and everyone's like, this guy's 6th man of the year all of a sudden. And then the jokes died down, didn't it?
The dude, he's not only a great basketball player, he's a great person, but that man does whatever role his NBA team needs him to do. And as soon as he puts on the green and gold for Australia, he turns into peak Michael Jordan, peak LeBron put together.
Yeah, why is that? What is that? Like, why is that?
That's just his. I mean, that's the culture that team. There's some incredible stories about all the stuff they do behind the scenes to get that culture of the national team. But everyone knows that until Paddy retires, it's his team. He comes in if he wants to take 40 shots, they do it because he just turns into like a Super Saiyan mode. And I mean, he dropped 40 plus in that bronze medal game against Luca. So I think we'll always remember that. But yeah, he's just seeing him where it's gonna be sad when he stops wearing the green and gold. That's for sure.
Just before I go into your career, just to touch on the Boomers. Obviously, now the level of players that we've had in the last 2-3 years going to the draft. I know Ben Simmons is a little bit here, there, and everywhere, but something tells me if he gets picked in the Boomers, he might like turn it up a bit. Then obviously we've got some now senior vets, and also the quality in the NBL. It's like so impressive. Do you see the Boomers now being in a position to actually go do something special over the next few years?
Yeah, I think it's just going to continue to get better and better. That's the way they're going. And you mentioned that we've got like we're in the perfect transition period of okay, Joe Ingles probably has the World Cup this year and then Paris, and that's probably it for him. Paddy might be able to go a couple of years longer as like turning into a bit of a bench player after that. But then you've got guys like Josh Giddey, Dyson Daniels coming through, as you said, the NBL guys. It's continuing to get better because the pathway's huge now. Xavier Cook's just got signed to the Wizards, so it's a really special time to follow Australian basketball. I think the World Cup squad's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. It's going to be fun to watch. And yeah, these next couple of years, mind you, this is so in 2018 when we won the chip with United, Giddy and Dyson Daniels were training with us. And I remember them walking in and I asked Golding, I was like, who's this? And he mentioned who their sons they were and stuff. And I said straight out, I was like, these guys are garbage. And I'm mind you, they were 13. I was like, they're no good. And now making what? Giddy's probably about to get $100 million contract after this year.
Yeah. What is it with Josh Giddey? Like, because he looks like a bit unique in the sense of like he kind of looks like a bit goofy and stuff, but then he's like he's poetic on the court. And I don't think and I'm a big basketball fan, I don't think if you don't play the game, you don't appreciate how hard it is to get like consistent triple doubles. Can you explain like in his game, like what is it about him that makes him that? And do you have a rebuttal to that as well?
No, I think he got two back-to-back triple doubles in the NBL, which is hard to do. Like the FIBA league is stingy on assists. The NBA, in terms of assists, is crap. Like you could throw an inbound pass, a dude will take two dribbles like Giannis, length of the court, and it'll be an assist. Take not away, he does set up his teammates a lot. He's 6'8" as a point guard, so he's going to get those rebounds. But again, went to a perfect situation, an OKC, where they were going to give him the ball and let him play, and he's just going to continue to get better and better. So Australian basketball's in good hands because he's 19, 20? And
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
Oddly enough, and as I said, I do want to talk about you and your career and get into that Melbourne United championship. But we've had a few interesting questions about gaming. How do you go on NBA Jam and then someone goes, "How about COD?" Is there a theme here, or people just asking that randomly?
No, I'm a gamer. Well, I got a 5-month-old. I don't know if you can hear. You've actually timed this stream perfectly. It's bath and bedtime, so I'm out of that. So we can talk as long as you want.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm a gamer. Normally it's COD, bit of Fortnite. Was back in the day. I just started going crazy on the Hogwarts Legacy, but then now I can't do it because my little one doesn't want to sleep. But I thought that all those kind of games I jump on. I'm not a 2K guy. I'm a FIFA guy, big FIFA guy, but I just can't get into 2K. I don't know why.
Dabble, we need to have like a best of 3 comp online between me and Pistol on FIFA. That needs to be.
No way. You said that way too confidently.
No, I'm not great. I think I back myself in because I know the buttons and I played it a lot, but then I go online and I get whooped.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so I think it would actually be quite even. If you are a gamer, I'm okay. I'm not superior, but I just like the banter of it.
Oh, I love getting the messages where I win the occasional one online and people abuse me, so it's kind of nice.
So tell me about post-college, your basketball career, because I know probably I'm a bit more familiar with the back end through sort of the middle period. I know you had some stints in England and so forth. Keen to kind of get a rundown for all the dabblers out there as well that are wanting to know a bit more.
Yeah, so actually after I had my big moment in college, I got offered a couple of teams around and potentially a couple of workouts with. I went to college in New York with the Knicks, but obviously nothing was going to come of any of that. So I was like, well, I'm going back to school. I decided to go back to school. It was a bit of a story with losing my mum around that time, but that's when I had a big moment on ESPN, but ended up signing with Townsville the year after, the Crocs, which was awesome. My first pro gig. Went to bed in New York, woke up, Townsville had folded as an organisation. And I was talking to my agent. I was like, "What does that mean?" He goes, "All the NBA, like you've been asleep. All the other players have found spots." So, use my English passport. My old man played for Nottingham Forest actually. Over if anyone's
wait, what?
League
Your old man played?
Yeah.
You cannot just drop that lightly. And I'm the soccer ambassador for Dabble, and you just talk about not.
Oh mate, he told me when I was about 19 and was like obsessed, and I was a big Liverpool guy, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I used to play for Nottingham Forest," and I was like the academy stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, right on there," and I was like, "Wait, what's going on here? Like, why would you hold this out on me for so long? And why'd you put a basketball in my hands? I could have had you retired like 20 years earlier."
That was my next question. What's going on there?
Yeah. Oh, no good. I'm not indoor soccer. Maybe I'm not good, but I'll have a crack. But yeah, so I went to England, played in Plymouth. It was a bit of a nightmare. It's not obviously a basketball country. We actually we were in the FA Cup against Liverpool while I was there, and we drew at Anfield, which means the second leg was in Plymouth, and the whole little town shut down, man. It was unbelievable. Like Liverpool came down, everyone was there, the town was insane. Left that because it was crap, it was awful. Came back, played Ballarat in like the NBL one, the Seaball competition. Told my agent didn't want to go anywhere else, just wanted to stay in Australia. Had been away for a while. Had a tryout with the Sydney Kings. Went to China with Andrew Gaze. He was coach at the time on a Sydney Kings tour, and played really well there. And got offered by the Kings and United, and chose to stay in Melbourne and won a title that year.
Man, that's crazy. So, first off, the Seaball, that's obviously not the easiest league as well. I know that because I was at the AIS, and the AIS used to compete in that. And I remember watching like those boys were playing against men.
Did you go to Tute?
Bro, I was there for like 2.5 years. AIS Player of the Year, might I add, but I mean, people forget.
So you're a Mooseheads legend.
I was there when Mitch Creek was there and Dellavedova, and who else was there? There was a couple. Hugh Greenwood was there for basketball. There was more. I can see faces. I can't put names. There was a little dark guy that I thought was going to be a superstar, a point guard, but he never really went on to anything as well. But Dellavedova and Creaky were probably the two big ones from my Tute experience.
So were you there? Were you there when I went to New Resi's?
Yeah, I was New Resi's. Yeah.
Oh, so there you go. I had all my Oz camps for Australia were in Old Resi's, which is like a prison cell. And if people don't understand
mate, that is genuinely
unbelievable. It's a piss take.
Shocking. It's shocking. Yeah. Nah, New Resi's was good. AIS was a great experience, man. Basketball, I think basketball's a great program for it too, because it seems like you just guys like have so much fun. They train so hard as well, basketballers. But going into Melbourne United, can you just tell me about that experience? Because it's obviously now it's a pretty well-established team, but it wasn't that long ago that it was pretty raw and fresh, and a relatively new franchise in regards to the naming and the branding, coloring, and all that sort of stuff. Like, how did that come into your picture and the success around it?
Yeah, so I think I was the second or third year that they were in existence, Melbourne United. Obviously, they wanted a new Melbourne team, a new branding, and they'd been a bit average before that for the couple of years. And we were loaded with talent. I mean, we had probably the best team on paper in the league. We went over, that was the first NBA, NBL games in the preseason. So I remember we played Adelaide in the first round. And then that next morning, we flew to OKC, getting ready to play Paul George, Westbrook, and Melo, which was like unreal. And we landed on a Friday night. We were supposed to play on the Sunday. Saturday morning, Dean Bickman, our coach, is like, we're going to have a practice on the floor. So we all thought, okay, we just played the other day. We just flew across the world. This will be light. We had a full-on practice, and I broke my ankle, and I've never been more angry at a coach for like why we're doing this. And I sat on the sideline during the game. We lost by 1 point, and I remember I was in a moon boot, and after the national anthem, Paul George walked over and like asked what happened, and I said, I like screwed my ankle yesterday in training, and he started talking about his horrific injury when he was playing for USA, and I was like, oh, mate, yours is like 100 times worse than mine. Like,
his was dark, man. His ankle was like out of his skin.
Yeah, it was bad. So, but that whole year we were pretty tough to beat. Our worst loss, we lost to Perth by like 40 in like midway through the season, and then we had a 2-week break after that, and we just did straight MMA, like fully beating each other up. It was the worst experience of my life. went on to win the title, and then apparently they still do it to this day. They do MMA all the time because we won a title once after doing it. You know how that happens with
That I
sport.
love the logic to winning it, but to repeat that logic, does that make sense to you now? That doesn't seem to be
Well,
right.
we made the grand final series the year after by doing the same thing, but we lost in game 4. But I'm like, I'm done. I was like, I can't keep doing this. My body's cooked.
Wow, how special was that team that year you won? Because I know obviously Chris Goulding, you had Adnam, you had obviously Simon Mitchell, who went on to be the Southeast Phoenix coach. Yourself, you had a lot of young players as well. Also, I think Chris Anderson was there too.
Dave Anderson, Dave Anderson was there.
Sorry. Who is Chris
Casper
Anderson?
Ware.
I just make up a name, Dabblers. I think
No,
I did. Dave Anderson. Pardon?
Yeah, it's I think that's an MMA fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I've got my wires crossed. But Dave Anderson I remember him because he was always this kind of big guy at the Olympics. And I was like, fuck, he seems like a baller. But I personally didn't know much about him because we obviously had quite a stacked starting five, but he'd always be like the center or the tall guy kind of power forward in the team. I'm like, he must be good. He must be respected.
There's 2 players that I've played with that I can honestly say are unstoppable when they get in a certain mindset of scoring. Like no one can stop them. Chris Goulding's one of them, but Dave Anderson's the other. Even at 40 years old, that man is an absolute bucket. Has some of the best stories of all time. Like I'll have to try and get him on to have a chat about stories. I'm talking when he was playing at the Rockets. He said he was playing in Atlanta for Houston. He said they landed in Atlanta. He went out with a couple of other blokes. He said they were on the piss until like 5 a.m. They'd shoot around at 11. He said they all rocked in off 3 hours sleep. They took a couple of shots, went back to bed, and then ended up beating Atlanta by like 30.
Whoa, man.
Like,
Pistol's coming in hot with the stories, bro. Pistol's coming in real hot with the stories, man. You got some story time.
Mate, we could do a lot of stories for days. But I
think we're gonna need to have you on more often because we haven't spent enough time talking about NBA. And obviously, before I go into that, I do want to talk to you about it because I actually want to put on a cheeky multi and pick your brain and reference the Pistol 12 sort of beat, only because it is such a big market on Dabble, like the amount of games for the NBA. So many people love betting on it. So I'm sure there's some wisdom there. But before I do, the championship winning feeling of the NBL, like how good was that? How special was that moment? Because that is something I can imagine you'll take to bed for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's the reason why I ended up with my body as well, retiring early, because I was like, I've already won a title. What else do I want to achieve in life? I was like, this is probably the peak of it. And we went out to celebrate as a great group of guys. The bender you go on is a lot of fun. We ended up on the owner's yacht like 2 days later, and we got on at Port Melbourne, jumped on at 8 o'clock. I remember sitting around and all of a sudden everyone's got a Corona, and then we just went and docked out in St Kilda in like a 19-degree day and just had a ball. But it's awesome. It's something that no one can ever take away from you, winning a championship at the professional level. And I said I won 3 in college. It was kind of like the icing on the cake, and I'm ready to move on in the next part of my life. So now it's something every time the championship series, the finals that just happened, Sydney won another one. It always brings back nice memories.
But in regards to tomorrow for the NBA, if you were Pistol Pete with your knowledge, what would you be giving us as some advice, as some things that could happen?
My advice, the NBA has been a disaster of late. And I'm talking about the people who generally love to have the same games or whatever. They've been, since the All-Star break, a lot of the All-Stars just don't care. And it's been disappointing. But there's 3 weeks left until the play-in, so I'm expecting a few guys to actually start to care a little bit. And I'm not talking, I've seen Swanee. If you followed Swanee since you joined, big fella loves $1.90 multi.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I almost was going to write cute bet chump.
Like, what's that going to get you? That's not going to get you.
You know why? Because I think Swanee, I've never seen him care about anything. I think he cares more about people's perception of him winning bets than they did of him winning a Brownlow or winning a premiership.
Which is probably fair enough, to be honest. That's probably got the right thing.
I think his pride gets hit more when he loses these multis because he bets so much.
Yeah, well, don't we all? But that's why I like going a bit more. Anywhere between 10 and 20 is juicy, but the Cavs are one team that need to start rolling. And I'm a Brooklyn fan, but I still think that even though we've played a more enjoyable style since we got rid of all the drama, Cavs minus 2.5 is not a bad bet if they're fully healthy. And they've actually, this is another thing, if you're betting now, there's been a couple of really late outs recently, which has swung the market, which is really frustrating.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking in warm-ups, you saw KD does his ankles out for 3
Oh,
weeks
yeah, that
in
was
warm-ups.
random.
Random.
Random. Okay, so Cavs minus it's minus 2.5. I've put that in.
We have no player markets up here, do we? Or do we have a couple?
There should be player markets, yeah, for in regards to
Don't mind the Celtics minus 4.5. Kings just played today. But I also, when it does come up, whatever Sabonis points are, Sabonis was awful today. He want to bounce back.
right. All right, I'm on those two. That's a 348. Are we going to ramp it up or are we going to do a Swanee bet here?
No, we're going to ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, ramp it up.
Orlando,
we got 2 minutes to this dog race pistol, so we might have to pause in a minute as well.
Orlando on the nose.
Orlando on the nose. I love that. Straight to the point.
They'll be, the Wizards. The Wizards would lose the Big V tournament right now. They're no good.
Didn't our superstar from the Sydney Kings just sign for them too?
Yeah, he should get a lot of minutes because they're not playing for a whole lot, so that should be good. And then I don't know who's going to be playing for the Clippers, but the Clippers minus 6.5 looks enticing against OKC.
All right,
we're talking about
we're going to do
that.
That takes us 4 legs to $12.30.
$12.30 is going to get you a nice couple of slabs ready for the weekend.
All right,
$1.98 is going to get you nothing.
I put that up. All right, Pistol, that's up. Let's go to this race because this is going to be golden. Because 2-Pie Pete could really rival Bella 19 here, and we could absolutely be killing ourselves for not taking Pistol's advice. So let's have a look at it. I think they're prepping to get in the gate. Oh, we're a little bit early. Oh no, we're on Sky 2. They're rolling in. Runway Messi. That was one that I think the name perked people's interest, along with 2-Pie Pete, which is strung out $4.
We spoke about the soccer. It piqued my interest as well.
Yeah, names do with dogs. Look, I'm not going to lie. My first 3 streams on Dabble, I think we lost 1 race and we did two each time, and I had no idea what I was doing. There was a few dabblers who are very much smarter than me at this stuff that share their 2 cents, but we have been struggling.
We're back to Sky 1. Yeah, I copied the Sharks multi tonight because he hit a big boy on Saturday at Hillsville. I was watching that last leg. I was watching that on the way to was it Saturday? No, Sunday. On the way to the Dabble Suite. I was at the G in the Dabble Suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, picked the goal scorer winner as well. I was having ball. Essendon Bombers.
Oh, you were there for the Essendon game. All right. Beautiful. All right, I think the red light's on. The green's got to be coming on here soon, surely. Is there one dog, another dog throwing hands again? We saw a dog throw hands once at one of the trainers and it won, so.
How's that? Scarlet Ribbon at Gloucester Park, $1.30.
There we go. Number 5's caused an absolute ruckus, which is 2-Pie Pete. They can't get him in. Look at him. 2-Pie Pete, they're just ragdolling him. That is a sign of a good dog. I don't like seeing that. 2-Pie Pete's finally in. Oh, no.
Come on,
what have we done? Have we gone too early with Bella 19? Pink Dog's just playing hard to get. This is a nervy wait. This is way longer than it's ever been. Even the screen's buffering because they just don't know what's going on.
It's closed. 390, 2-Pie Pete closed that.
Oh, I did it. Here we go. Come on. Good start. Green's on. Let's go. Let him loose. Bella 19. Let go, baby. Oh, you're out and you've started slow. 2-Pie Pete, not bad. 40s. 2-Pie Pete is an absolute beast. That is a bigger dog than everyone. But Bella 19, cheekily on the inside. Oh, come on, Bella. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, 2-Pie Pete's had 1 too many pies, as we expected. Oh, has it? Am I going to eat my words? Bella, do something. Clip its legs. Go, Bella, on the outside. Oh, Bella. Oh, no, the 7. The 7 was Psychosonic at $8. What a race.
That's my favorite number as well.
I love 7 as well. I do love 7.
Yeah, talk about omens.
Oh, there we go. The Hooley jersey. And I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to let you go. But I know you're a Crows man. Is that right?
I am. And Just got handed down. Shane McAdam, 3 matches is an absolute debacle to the game. It is an absolute piss take.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, I want to go deep into the Crows with you on the next round because I think Crows. There's a lot of talk that they're gonna be smooth movers this year, and they obviously stalled at the start, but it's always a bit tricky round one. But for all those that are tuning in to Jake's take on the Dabble channel, if you're not following at Pistol 12, get around him. He's a champion on and
We'll
off the
start
court.
winning.
Yeah, we need to start winning. Not doing Dane Swan bets of $2 and $1, but.
Well, I mean, comment on a couple. If you want to see those, I can do them as well. They're gimmies. Like if you want to see those, but I don't get enjoyment out of that. But if you do, maybe I'll do a couple.
So there's 2 extremes on Dabble. You got Dane Swan that does a $2 bet, and then you got Tommy Sheridan that does an 8-leg $438 bet. And
yeah, don't get me started on
the
Tommy.
people love it.
Don't get me started on Tommy. Tommy, I know Tommy, and every time when it comes to NFL, when I chatted to him, he was like, "Oh, mate, this guy's definitely going to have 8 touchdowns in this week." And I was like, "It's impossible, mate. There's no way he's going to have 8 touchdowns in a game." Carries on.
Oh, I love it. Oh, Pistol, mate, you're a champion. Thank you so much for coming on the show, mate. We love your work, and it was an absolute joy to meet you.
No worries, mate. Look forward to the next one.